Meet Zoomlock, the 10-second flame-free refrigerant fitting from Parker. Reduce labor costs by 60% with no brazing, no flame, and no fire spotter. Discover how Zoomlock can help you be more efficient and productive. Visit Zoomlock.com for more information.
Guys, I'm checking out an Amana 15 SEER package unit I put in back in, it was 2013 or 2014. Just a routine check, hopefully nothing's wrong. But we're going to also hook up the Sporlan Smart Pro R for the first time, so it'll be kind of cool. So stay tuned for that. We'll see how it works and what it looks like. We're checking the voltage coming into the top of the contactor here. And let me check that capacitor while it's running. I really gotten into checking the capacitor while it's running instead of before. We have 0 volts here, so we're good to go ahead and start checking some other stuff here and get the Zebrastat hooked up. You always want to check down there that voltage coming into the heater too, because that's 240 volts as well. Even if you're not working on it, might as well check both circuits and make sure they're both off. And you can go ahead and check these connections here, look and see if anything's burnt or anything like that. This particular customer only services once a year, so it's good to take a peek at the heating parts while we're here as well. Whenever I'm testing these units, I like to put this door back on, obviously, because the blower's right there. But there's always these little cracks up here, so I'll go ahead and put these 2 screws back on, even though it hooks into this clip. And then the other door here screws into this door and into this plate behind. So what I do is I go ahead and put these screws in so it kind of holds it close and you don't get too much air sucked in, screwing up the readings. So these are what they affectionately call Hoth Droids. Just imagine this. Dun 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 dun. Hey look, there's a cat. Alright, well, cat surprised me. These are made so that you can use it on very large pipe without the restrictions of a clamp. But I brought some clamps with me just in case I can use them on my small pipe. And these are much stronger than normal clamps. So I'm going to try to attach them with my clamps. We'll see how it works. Hey cat, what the heck? Got the Pro R app here open. Let's see if I can hang it on my thing. We see we have temperatures, T1 and T2. We'll see how we denote which one's which here in a minute. I'm not sure. I got them clamped in there, as you can see. Clamped onto the pipe. So the clamps work fine. The only difference between using these and like regular clamp style temperature probes is the fact that I'll need 2 hands for this one, because obviously I have to hold the thing in place. The good thing is that these clamps are much stronger, so the connection is much better than, say, if you have like to test those smart probes. Sometimes the weight of that sensor at the end of the clamp, if you're putting it in a vertical position or on a pipe on a vertical position, it tends to weigh it down. That's not going to happen with these, because these are the same clamps you use for woodworking, so they're very tough. Guys, I have the Pro R pressure sensors hooked up here, low side and high side. Have my clamps on. Everything is registering here at the phone. We'll do a little bit of walking and see how far we get with this in a minute. But I'm going to go ahead and fire up the breaker so I can turn on this unit and we can run it for a minute. I am going to block off some of this intake right here. There'll be a little bit getting through, but not enough to really skew our readings too much. See guys, even Hillmore tools are helping. That's pretty good. I'll turn off my meter. Here we are. Get some amp and measurements and all that. See, it says Smart Pro R. 4 sensors are broadcasting, and the Goodman Partners Networks has a webinar, because I guess everybody's a Goodman dealer. And Brad Hicks posted in Working Joe's. Hey, great. A lot of stuff happening this morning, guys. We can see the Cool 2 is illuminated, and that's our reversing valve because my orange wire is messed up. So Cool 2 is actually just means it's energized and cooling. I'm going to turn the fan on first. See if you can hear that in there. There's the fan. Some of these motors you have to have that fan input and the other input to get to the maximum speed. So let's go ahead and turn on. See, we have this on. We're going to keep this on. Well, we don't have to turn this on because it's going to stay on because the thermostat settings and cooling. So we're going to turn on the compressor and outdoor fan. There we go. We're going to let these kind of work their way up and see how I can denote which one's which, because I really have just turned this on and used them for the first time. So I really don't know which one's going to be which as far as how you set up superheat subcool, but we'll figure it out here together. I'm going to have temperature. I got the 84, which I knew was going to be a liquid line. Sensor setup. In use. Configure sensor. I don't know what that means. I don't know. T1's fine. So that was not what to do. Let me go to calculate. Oh, here we are. Subcooling. Alright, there we go. There's our subcooling bubble. Then when blends, you'll have a bubble temperature. Alright, let's go add another calculation. We're going to save that. So I guess that's going to be a permanent deal. Now we're going to add superheat. We're going to use down here T2. We're going to choose that pressure. And superheat's 31. Hopefully that comes down because it's a little high. Hopefully it will. It should. It's already coming down. Alright, so if we go to sense, our start winding amps is 5.21, which is pretty good. A lot of times I've noticed since I've been doing these capacitor calculations while the machine is running, I used to not do that, and I actually used to bitch about it, saying it was not necessary. But you know, now that I've done it for a little while, it's kind of interesting because you can kind of tell from how many amps you're getting off this start winding wire how well that capacitor is really doing. So we're going to take a voltage measurement in between the yellow and red there, which is starting to run, and do the calculation, which is amps times 2654 divided by that voltage, to see what kind of capacitor rating we have. But I will have to say, after doing this for a while, I'm a fan of this, so I'm going to continue to do it this way unless the thing's just completely dead where the machine won't run and you can't test it this way. But then by that point, usually you can see it bulged up or exploded or whatever. Well, right now she looks like she's running like a champ here. We got 11 degrees of superheat, 13 degrees of subcooling. Pressures look like they're in good order, so really good looking numbers here. Capacitor was fine too. It's a miracle. As you see, it's one of those that we expect failure on because they tend to pop and pop and pop. So you know, it could pop later this summer, knowing my luck. This customer has a labor warranty too, so anything that happens in here is covered by that for at least the next 6 or 7 years. There's our low voltage connections there. I'll be taking those off in a minute. We'll blow out the drain and all that good stuff. The coil's pretty clean. I kind of scraped it off with the brush a little bit. So the unit's pretty clean. It's pretty new. So everything looks good, guys. We'll do more with the Pro R coming up, and we'll do a little distance check. I'm not going to do it today because now I'm pressed for time. So we'll do it on a different occasion. And I guess you can see those little icons moving there. I guess that's when they're sensing. So you can see how often they sense. Looks like every couple seconds.
Those of us with dirty hands, blood stains intertwine, right away each morning to grind it out another time. The faces in the mirror, and not as young as they once were, but they're proud, they're proud.